Right, so we are welcome back to class, and we would be looking at the third module of the Scrum Master training. In the two previous modules, we looked at Scrum the framework in the first module, and in the second module, we looked at Scrum fundamentals. On the Scrum framework, we looked at what Scrum is. We discussed about the origin of Scrum. We also looked at how Scrum works. Then from there, we went to the empiricism of Scrum. From there, we went to the values of Scrum, and we ended the first module with what makes Scrum Scrum. And on the second module, which is Scrum Fundamentals, we looked at the role of the product owner, followed by the Scrum Master, then the developer. Then that makes reference, or those three make reference to the three roles in Scrum, from where we looked at the 5 events in Scrum, which are the sprint planning, the sprint review, the sprint retrospective, the daily Scrum, and the sprint itself. We also looked at 2 other meetings of relevance to Scrum, and those 2 are the backlog requirements and the parking lot. From where we looked at the second 3 in the 353, talking about the 3 artifacts in Scrum, which are the product backlog, the sprint backlog, and the product increment. It's been a wonderful time going through the basics of Scrum. So in this module, just as we can see from the screen, we would be looking at the essential roles, or the essential role of the Scrum Master. The essential role of the Scrum Master. So we are branching off what Scrum is to then now look at the Scrum Master, which this training proper focuses on. All right, so let's jump right into the class. So who is a Scrum Master? That's where we want to start from now. Of course, from the previous modules, we have good understanding of who the Scrum Master is, but we want to narrow down a little more to x-ray the role Scrum Master itself. So who is a Scrum Master? And we'll start from this. I would give us about 30 seconds, or let's make it about 1 minute, for us to look at this picture on the pictures or characters, better word, characters on the screen, that's on the slide, and have some understanding what these characters represent. What or who is the Scrum Master? The Scrum Master is an essential role in the Scrum framework. Essential role in the Scrum framework. Of course, from previous classes, we know that in a Scrum team, there are those 3 roles: the product owner, the Scrum Master, and the developers. So the Scrum Master is an essential role in the Scrum framework, responsible for facilitating the team's progress and ensuring that the team follows the Scrum process. So the Scrum Master facilitates team's progress. Anything that would make up the team's progress is what the Scrum Master would focus on, and also ensures that the team follows Scrum process. Scrum process. He ensures or she ensures that the team follows Scrum process. The Scrum Master also is responsible for removing impediments, of course, which we often call blockers, that may be blocking the team progress. So at any time the Scrum Master observes that there is a blocker, um, developers mostly would relate to that, most often from the daily stand up. But in practice, a good Scrum Master also would encourage the team members not to wait until the daily stand up before they begin to raise out when they have impediments. They should be able to do that on the board, which we've gone through in the previous lessons. So it's important that a good Scrum Master trains the team to be able to deliver that. Then the Scrum Master is the custodian, the conscience, and the guardian of Scrum. It's like the Yoda of Scrum. Oh, you're not meant to see that other slide. Okay. So the Scrum Master is the custodian of the conscience and the guardian of Scrum. So I asked us to take a moment to look at these characters, these 8 characters, and try to make our guesses what these characters represent. So could you just list out, get a piece of paper with your pen and list out what these characters are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll give us just a few seconds to please write those ones out. In our own words, what do we think these characters represent? Few more seconds. I hope we're noting them down. I really need us to note them down. Of course, we'll be unveiling what these characters are, but I want us to begin to be able to compare what our thoughts are to what these characters are. So a few more seconds, then we continue in a bit. Pens up. All right, so let's look at what these characters are. These characters represent the Scrum Master. So these 8 characters are the capacities the Scrum Master should have. So while we unveil and talk through them or discuss around each of those characters, I would also need us to make some effort to picture this in our minds. So at any time anyone asks you who a Scrum Master is, just picture these 8 characters in your mind and you would have a lot to talk about who a Scrum Master is. And you can also reflect and relate yourself in that perspective as a Scrum Master. So let's go. The first one, we'll look at the first 4, then the next 4, or the last 4. The first 4 are: the Scrum Master is an impediment remover. The Scrum Master is a facilitator. The Scrum Master is a team coach. The Scrum Master serves also as a teacher. Let's look at all these 4. So when we say the Scrum Master is an impediment remover, what do we make reference to? This tells us that the Scrum Master is responsible for identifying and addressing any obstacles or barriers that could hinder the progress of the Scrum team. So any obstacle or barrier or barriers that could hinder the progress of the Scrum team would be referred to as an impediment. Impediments can come in various ways, of course, but let's just note that anything that would serve as a barrier that would not make the team to progress further would be an impediment. And the Scrum Master should be able to identify those early, of course, through continuous engagement with the developers precisely. Is not the one doing the work of development, but is there with them, supporting them. So as soon as any of them observe a blocker or an impediment, they relate across to him. However, let me quickly note this. There are some blockers that could be removed at the team level. So a good Scrum Master would support the team to work collaboratively and be able to self-organize and remove blockers that could be dealt with at the team level. And how that works in practice is during the daily stand-up, that takes the third question from the daily stand-up when the Scrum Master would want to know, or team members would want to share with others, if they have any blockers at all, if they have any impediments at all. So in any case, any developer comes back to say, oh, I have an impediment, such a developer would share what the impediment is, and sometimes some of the team members in that particular meeting could give some suggestions. Possibly some of them had encountered such an impediment in the past, and they have been able to overcome the impediment, and they have that experience or knowledge they could share with that particular team member in a suggestion. Oh, I've experienced that before. How about you try these steps? Perhaps it could work for you. That is how a team member self-organize and help themselves to resolve impediments. However, still, when that impediment has now gone beyond what the team could deal with, then at that point, the Scrum Master needs to jump on that impediment and find a solution for the impediment. Of course, that has become what needs to be resolved externally. So while the Scrum Master is resolving impediments for the team or the team member would then be able to focus on another task, right? Imagine a particular developer has an impediment and he needs to move that impediment himself, and is stuck and he can't progress, then is distracted from continuing work. So the Scrum Master is there in that instance to give the necessary support to that particular developer while the developer focuses on another task. In addition to that, yes, again, in that conversation, the development team or the developer will still need to have an engagement with the Scrum Master, how he feels or she feels such impediment could be treated. For instance, let's go back to the illustration of building a house that we've been discussing earlier. We had to dig foundation for the house, and while digging was going on, the development team member or the particular developer realizes that there is a big stone that could not be moved, and his small tool cannot break that big stone. So he has an impediment and he can't remove it by himself. And during the daily stand-up, he was able to bring it up. Or when he encountered that impediment, he immediately called the attention of the Scrum Master to it. He understands what needs to be done, but it has gone beyond his capacity to deliver that. it has also gone beyond what the entire team could resolve. So what would the Scrum Master do? The Scrum Master would jump on that impediment and reach out to whichever or wherever that solution would come from. So the developer could say, oh, let's get across to the mechanical units. They should be able to get us some blast equipment to get this resolved. So that the developer could be focused, the Scrum Master will now reach out to that mechanical unit and liaise with them to remove that particular impediment. So that is how it works in Scrum. So while that is being done, resolved by the Scrum Master, that developer could focus on another task. So that is how a Scrum Master removes impediments, just to ensure that the team is focused on what they need to deliver, and of course that is the sprint goal. The ultimate goal of the Scrum Master as an impediment remover is to create an environment where the Scrum team can work efficiently and without unnecessary obstacles, enabling them to also deliver high quality products within the sprint time frame. And of course, for the Scrum Master, by removing impediments promptly, the Scrum Master helps to optimize the team's productivity and ensures the successful completion of the sprint goal. So that is the first function of the Scrum Master in removing impediments. Number 2, as a facilitator. When we look at the chest of the Scrum Master, we will see the popular acronym TIA. TIA, that stands for Transparency, Inspection, and Adaptation. Transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So the Scrum Master facilitates conversations, meeting conversations, brainstorming sessions, communications, in making decisions, resolving conflicts, whatsoever it is, the Scrum Master facilitates the such conversations, all in a bid to ensure that there is transparency within the team, within and without the team actually, to ensure that there is inspection and of course there is adaptation. So the Scrum Master is a facilitator. He brings everybody together. He ensures that team meetings are kept according to plan. Conversations are based on the agenda. The time box for each of those meetings are adhered to. He ensures that the team is also well organized, self-organizing, and he facilitates all those conversations to bring the best out of the team. So it comes as a soft skill, but it's a very important soft skill for the Scrum Master as a facilitator. It should be able to raise all the conversations as needed. Number 3, the Scrum Master is a team coach. The Scrum Master is a team coach. We would see as we discuss further that some of these roles or some of the duties within this Scrum Master's capacities would be crossing from one to the other. So the Scrum Master as a team coach ensures that he guides and supports the team adequately. Guides and support in what? He guides them on the Scrum principles. He guides them on the Scrum values, the Scrum practices. He ensures that the framework is followed adequately. The Scrum, as a team coach also, he wants to have interest in individuals, developers' skill development. A smart Scrum Master wants the developers to also acquire better skill and enhance their own capacity, because on the long run that pays off for the team. The Scrum Master is not the boss that is always demanding um, at the expense of the developers. The Scrum Master as a team coach also ensures that he's guiding them towards always improving in their processes, continuous improvement. There are some practices, we call them agile engineering practices. Agile engineering practices. You could take some time to read ahead to find out about that. Actually, agile engineering practice is out of the scope of what we are discussing in this training. But there are some of those important agile engineering practices that work well with Scrum. Some of such could be what we call peer programming. Peer programming is where two developers are working together simultaneously. We have another we call continuous integration, continuous deployment. We have code refactoring. We have and so on. We have test-driven development and so on. So those agile engineering practices could be what a team a coach as a Scrum Master could introduce when such a need arises to the team to improve their processes, to improve their deliveries. For instance, when we talk about test-driven development, test-driven development helps the team to develop more qualitative products at the end of the day. I made mention of peer programming. Peer programming helps the team to bridge knowledge gap, right? So as a team coach, the Scrum Master encourages the team to continuously improve. He empowers them, and also he resolves all their conflicts. Of course, from time to time, possibly occasionally, there could be conflicts. It is the role of the team coach, in this case the Scrum Master, that would be able to resolve those problems. He also builds trust amongst the team, which is very important. When you are reporting to your place of work, you need to have a buy-in of the rest of the team. They shouldn't see the Scrum Master as a way by which business or management is monitoring them. You should be able to earn that trust and build trust amongst all the team members. So that is what the team coach as a Scrum Master is looking at. Then the Scrum Master as a teacher is also, that relates more to either the coach or as facilitator, where the Scrum Master as a teacher is teaching and training the team on the ways of Scrum, either the Scrum values, the Scrum principles, or the frameworks itself. Is bringing best practices to the team, is encouraging the team to begin to imbibe an agile mindset for continuous improvement, continuous development. Also is also organizing workshop, brainstorm sessions on seeing how improvements could be for the teams. Let's move over to the next 4 of the Scrum Master, in the capacity of the Scrum Master. So in this first 4, we've looked at the Scrum Master as an impediment remover, as a facilitator, as a team coach, and as a teacher. The next 4, you may want to check your notes if you are close to them. The next 4 talks about, which is the 5th one in this case, is the Scrum Master as a serving leader. That also could be made reference to as a servant leader. That is where there is a huge difference between the Scrum Master and a project manager. The Scrum Master is not a boss, is a serving leader or a servant leader, as the case could be. You could use that interchangeably. I personally prefer a servant leader. So as a servant leader is supporting the team in every best possible ways, is leading by example, is facilitating learning path, is encouraging the team to grow. And as a leader, you could see from the picture that it looks like a shepherd. A shepherd is a servant leader. The Scrum Master must also protect the team. So he must also act as a shield for the team. He must be there for them. He must seek the best interest of the team. The next one is the Scrum Master is a team manager. Let me add that here. Is a team manager. Is managing all the workflows. It's managing communications. It's managing engagement from the good side, not from the bossy side. Is supporting the team. That's why I mentioned earlier that we begin to see those duties crossing from one to the other. So the Scrum Master is a team manager, is responsible for the developers' welfare, for the developers' well-being. He must be able to spot early when any of the developer is having some difficulties, even outside the team's delivery. So the Scrum Master must be aware also when the developers need help outside the work itself. There are times that the Scrum Master may need to catch up with a developer if he notices that productivity drops, and is to help such a developer to get back on his feet. Then the Scrum Master also is the change agent. Why or how is the Scrum Master a change agent? Most organizations do not know how Scrum works. Most organizations are just catching up and getting used to what we call agile mindsets. And the agile mindset is a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the can-do spirit. A growth mindset experiments. A growth mindset is ready to experiment, fail, and learn. It's ready to test new things. It's ready to try new things. By so doing, is able to embrace change. One of the 4 manifestos of Agile talks about embracing change rather than following a plan. So the Scrum Master is there to help the team adjust to change. It could be changing requirements, it could be scope change, it could be organizational structure. Whatever it is, the Scrum Master is helping the team to embrace change, to adapt to change, and to work also while there is change and still deliver value. And the last in this particular lesson is the Scrum Master as a mentor. Of course, we know who a mentor is. A mentor is there to promote self-organization in the team. A mentor serves as a role model for the team. So a Scrum Master must lead from the front in good conduct, in good Scrum conduct, in good Scrum values, in living what he or she preaches. He must be a good example for the team. He must be seen as encouraging growth. He must champion knowledge sharing also. Those are some of the ways the Scrum Master helps to build cross-functional teams, where he encourages knowledge sharing, where he's always helping to support, he's always giving guidance to the team, is building trust, and also very important is celebrating every little milestone, every success, every achievement made by the team. Is calling those success, naming them, and celebrating them. That happens more during the sprint retrospective, which comes up at the end of the sprint. So that will be all for this class. This class we looked at who the Scrum Master is, talking about the capacity of a Scrum Master. Those capacity, the roles, the duties of the Scrum Master, who a Scrum Master is. So if you could picture these 8 characters of the Scrum Master in your mind, at any given time, it makes it easy for you to relate who the Scrum Master is. The Scrum Master is an impediment remover. The Scrum Master is a facilitator. The Scrum Master is the team coach. The Scrum Master is a teacher. The Scrum Master is a servant leader. The Scrum Master is the team manager. The Scrum Master is a change agent. And the Scrum Master is a mentor. In all, we said the Scrum Master is the custodian, conscience, and guardian of Scrum. So if you have any question, please ship that across to me. I'll be glad to respond to them. But again, we'll see in the next class. Thank you very much.